Alright, so I think I'm recording. Let's take a look at problem number 2. Again, it's asking us to find the domain and range. So anytime they give me an equation and ask me to find the domain, I start with this. The domain is a set of all real numbers, excluding any values that cause division by 0, and excluding any values that cause me to take an even root of a negative number. Well, I don't have any even roots. I don't have any square roots, so I don't have to worry about that. But I do have a variable in a denominator. So this denominator, 6x minus 3, I want to avoid it ever equaling 0. So let's find the value of x that would cause this to equal 0. Well, I add 3 to both sides. I divide by 6 to get the x by itself. Let's, move this down to give me some room. Well, there. I thought it froze up. Sometimes this freezes up and I have to restart my computer and start all over again. But hey, I got lucky there. If I divide both sides by 6, 3 over 6 reduces to 1/2. So that's the only solution to this equation. If I take half of 6, I get 3, and 3 minus 3 gives me 0. Any other x, plug in 2, plug in 4, whatever, 6 times that minus 3 will not equal 0. So 1/2 is the only value on the number line that I need to exclude. So here's 0, here's 1, 1/2 is halfway between 0 and 1. So any other number, if you plug it in there, that x will be related to some y value. You just have to calculate the y value, do the arithmetic. Alright, so my domain is the set of all real numbers from negative infinity up to 1/2, but it excludes 1/2. And then any value that's greater than 1/2. So I have 1/2 to infinity. So there's my domain. That's the first part of this. So let's come in and look at the graph so we can find the range. All right, so I've got problem number 2 here, and if I cut and paste my picture, alright, so I have to figure out a way to illustrate to you that the range is not all real numbers. That this graph gets closer and closer to this dashed line, but never touches it. So from negative infinity to positive infinity, but then I exclude this one value. I need to figure out what that value is. Well, how can I describe that this is the line y equals, when this exponent and this exponent are the same, then I have what they refer to as a horizontal asymptote. But we don't look at that until the end of skill packet number 4. So I guess you have to believe me here that as x gets really, really big, this negative 3 becomes negligible. So when you're far away from the origin, do you see when you're far away from the origin, the graph is getting closer and closer to this line, and you're getting 4x over 6x, because as x gets really, really big, subtracting 3 at really, really big in a negative or a positive sense, when it gets far away from the origin, that minus 3 doesn't have much to do with the problem. the x divided by x is 1, and 4 divided by 6 is 2/3. So I know I'm coming from below, that the range is coming from below, from negative infinity all the way up, and it's never touching, it never has an output of 2/3. No matter what x you plug into here, y is never going to equal 2/3. It just gets closer and closer and closer to it because of that -3. It just prevents it from ever equaling 2/3. Then, if you're above this line, above where y equals 2/3, all the way to infinity. So that one was pretty difficult for the range. But the domain, we can definitely figure out. So I hope that helps with problem number 2.